Now my guest is a friend of mine. We know him from the website getnj.com and, of course, Grave Robber Computer. But now Anthony Olszewski, I'm getting it, is now a published author. And he is decided, let me go center camera here. He has authored a book. What is it, Hudson County Facts? I'm not looking at it now. What's the name of the book?
Hudson County Facts.
Hudson County Facts, I was right. So you don't have it in front of me, I don't know what the hell I'm reading. And this is all facts about Hudson County. You got, going far into the past. You got some Brett Schindler stuff in here. Mayor Haig, interesting connection between him and Hitler. This is really...
That's the way people would think, though.
No, actually, Hitler kind of made Haig. You got to get the book to read this. Now, this is on sale where?
It's on sale on Amazon. It's also available locally at Garden State News and in Hoboken on Washington Street, Symposia Books. Garden State News on Central Avenue and Symposia Books on Washington Street in Hoboken.
What is it, like $10?
No, it's $3.
Oh, come on, $3. You're going to get some interesting stories, and some will make you laugh. How long did it take to write a book? It's a book. What is it? About 37 pages?
It's 32 pages. I've been researching. Well, to some degree, you could say it took me all my life, because many of the stories are. My father had a tavern in downtown Jersey City.
Well, isn't that the second book?
Well,
well, let's say with the first one, but this is the second book. It isn't out yet, right?
No, that's
the second book.
Planning. Okay.
Dad being in the bar business. What is this? Second thief, best thief?
Many of the people that came in the bar were at the time involved with Jersey City politics. It was J.B. Kenney, but they started under the Haig days, and they had many stories about Haig, about the way things went on in Jersey City that didn't possibly make the papers.
Back then, we actually had papers, but it wasn't as things weren't out as open. And one thing about hanging out in the bar, you get the true stories there, and people talk, and you always get the good conversations. Now, you remembered all these from your childhood,
yes,
stories, and then you did some follow-up research.
The people would tell the stories many times. I heard them over and over again. Whenever some new person came by, people would retell the story. So
and possibly even embellish it a little bit, huh?
I tried all the stories. I tried to write them down exactly as I remember them.
I put my reading glasses on as I'm browsing through here. So when did you decide to write this book?
About a few months back, I was thinking that possibly I had never seen many of the stories about Haig anyplace else, so I thought it would be good to get them in print so that they wouldn't just disappear.
Now, you've gone through, back in your recollection of a lot of these stories, did you interview any of these guys that are in here? You got some of the, like McCann, you spoke to Jerry?
Jerry McCann, I called up, maybe 6 months or so ago.
How about Brett? I see Brett's in here quite a bit. Brett Schindler, former mayor of Jersey City, former candidate for governor. Did you interview him for the book? I know he wrote a review on it. That's on Amazon.com.
Yes. Okay. I speak to Brett Schindler every so often, so. I didn't formally interview him, but I have spoken to him.
I just ran into him. Curtis Leewer had a press conference down on Varick and Christopher Columbus Drive, and Brett Schindler was there. You got our old karate expert Don Nagel in here. You got like a who's who of Jersey City, even though you say it's Hudson County's Facts. A lot of Jersey City in here. But I mean, even Peter Stuyvesant is on the front page. And he's a story on himself. This guy's been all over General Square. He's been moved here, there, and everywhere. How is this selling?
It's doing pretty well. We sent out the third order. It's only been on Amazon for a couple of weeks now, and they've reordered twice already. So.
Now I see you got a website here, www.hudsoncountyfacts.com.
HudsonCountyFacts.com.
Can you read this book on the internet? Because it's not going to do good for sales if you can read it for free.
Actually, many of the stories are on the internet, but people have been, for several years now, they've been suggesting that people wanted to have it as a book. They wanted a book. So.
Where was your dad's bar?
The first one was at the corner of Bay and Erie, which is right across the street from the police headquarters now. I believe the gentleman who owns it now is, is the same person who bought it from my father back, in the late '60s, early '70s.
It's still a bar down there?
Yes, yes. That's the one that has the keyhole windows.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. All right. Oh, I know what bar you're talking about. Now, you sold that. Did he open another one, or?
Yes, he opened the bar at the corner of 15th and Grove. He only had that for a few years. He sold that, and then the final one, which was at the corner of 15th and Henderson, 15th and Louis Munoz Marin Drive now, or in Boulevard, excuse me. That's going to be the second booklet.
Now, was it a political hangout, your dad's bar?
Every place in Jersey City is a political hangout. You know that.
Yeah, to a degree. But, was it like today's P.J. Ryan's is the big political hangout? Was it that type of bar? Because you have some tremendous stories in here.
Particularly the one at the one at the corner of Bay and Erie. Everybody that came in there was a committeeman or political operative or something.
Committeemen were actually something back in the old days. They had power. Now, I don't even know why we have committeemen anymore. But when I was a kid, committeemen did have power. They had power in City Hall. Now, as I mentioned the Hitler and Haig story. You want to tell that a little bit?
Well, right before the United States became involved with World War I, the federal government was shipping munitions to. There was an island right off of the coast of what's Liberty State Park now, and the munitions were being shipped over to to Great Britain. Haig was a commissioner then. He was commissioner of public safety, and he staged what people at the time accused of being a publicity stunt. He said that the federal government was not things never changed. He was saying the ports were not safe.
Interesting that you're hitting it at this particular time with port security here. Now, this was back in what year is this?
So, this would have been 1914.
1914. We're worried about port security.
Okay,
Erie, isn't it?
Haig went with the Jersey City Police and attempted to stop the trains bringing the munitions, into Jersey City. The federal government responded swiftly and sternly, telling him that if he doesn't stop, they were going to send the army in and take him and the Jersey City Police away. So Haig was, people were snickering that he finally bit off more than he could chew. The Black Tom blew up. The windows were blown out in Jersey City. City Hall was actually the foundations of City Hall were damaged.
That was a pretty big explosion. I've read stories about that. That was huge.
It was the first state-sponsored terrorism. The spy master, the German spy master, was a gentleman by the name, if you use the word gentleman, it was an individual by the name of von Papen. He went on to, he was the German politician between the wars, who facilitated Adolf Hitler becoming chancellor. Hindenburg was not hot on the idea, and von Papen smoothed the way.
Von Papen was the behind-the-scenes guy pushing Hitler.
Yes, and so when the Black Tom blew up, the Haig did a 180-degree turn. His position in Jersey City.
Haig's looking pretty good now because he was called the Chicken Little there, and it turns out that Haig was right.
And a few years later, he became mayor.
And he was mayor forever.
1917 to 1947.
But our Nazi spy, our German spy, he goes on to assist Hitler and brings Hitler to power. So in a way, he was responsible for Hitler coming to power in Germany and Haig here in Jersey City coming to power.
And I say many people at the time would say it was, a very, very strange coincidence, because Haig, of course, was accused of being...
He was a dictator, too.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a dictatorship. It was a democracy, but back then what Haig said went. Of all the stories and facts you have in here, is there one that was the reason you decided to write the book and say, I really got to put this down in writing, and people would be interested in knowing this? Is there one fact in here that was the reason you decided to write the book?
When the state commission, when the state wanted the papers at City Hall under Haig, but I'd even say more than that, was my father getting the second quarter from Mayor Haig,
Second quarter tax bill?
No, on Christmas Day, they would this is during the Depression, kids could line up in front of City Hall and get a quarter. Now a quarter...
So I didn't read that one, you're kidding.
No, a quarter...
Well, a quarter was big money.
Yes, yes, it would be like $20 today, really, in spending power. After my father's family was very poor, so he was one of the first people in line. All the kids looked alike during the Depression, particularly all old coats, hats. He got back in line at the end of the line. The line stretched, all the way around the corner.
You gonna tell me Haig recognized him?
A couple of hours later, yes, Haig recognized him. He gave him the quarter, but he says, "I don't want to see you again today." So
look, he didn't borrow him from the next Christmas. Yeah, for a quarter. That's a great gesture, but can you see Healy sitting on the porch of City Hall giving out, well, he wouldn't give out $20 bills. Maybe you can get the quarter. Yeah. This is a great book, especially if you're a political junkie and you're interested in Hudson County. Yeah, you should focus in. Pay attention over there, camera 2. It's a great book. Let's go a little bit to your computer repairs there. GraveRobber.com. Grave Robber.
Yes.
Computer repair, how's that going since we last had you?
Okay.
Business picking up?
Unfortunately, I should say, I hate to say fortunately for me, but unfortunately spyware is a bigger problem than ever. And, of course, I'm there 7 days a week, so if you do have spyware or viruses on your computer, I'm more than happy to help you out. But I do suggest to everybody that they do get an antivirus program on your computer. If your computer is hooked up to the internet, you have to have an antivirus program. If not, you're going to be coming to see me or somebody else.
I got 2 spyware programs, and I'll run the first one, and it'll catch a bunch of cookies or whatever these things are, and then Yahoo gave me the other one, so occasionally I'll click that. Well, one doesn't catch, the other one does. That is a big problem, spyware.
The Microsoft also, Microsoft also has a free program for download, but it's that's good for about 85%, which is pretty good for free. But
there's people dreaming this stuff up. Viruses for the spyware will get the cookie. That's some sort of advertising thing. Somebody counting how many times you visit a site. But a lot of these guys, they're just dreaming up these viruses just to be pains in the ass.
No, unfortunately, no longer. It's just to be, quite possibly it's a form of terrorism. That the people are letting these things loose. It's no longer just a kid who doesn't have a date, so he's
some 9-year-old kid working on just screwing up someone's email. Yeah, there are bigger fish they're trying to fry besides frying my computer with these viruses. Now, GraveRobber.com, where is it?
297.
I keep calling it .com. It's Grave Robber Computer Repair.
Yes, okay.
And that's?
297 Griffith Street. That's in the Jersey City Heights, just off of Kennedy Boulevard.
Telephone number?
201-798-2292.
You got a website for Grave Robber?
GraveRobber.com.
All right. And you have another website?
GetNJ, which remains very, very popular.
You're always in the paper, whether it's Kush or whatever, political rumors are floating around. It's always GetNJ is the source of those rumors. Well, it's good for you. You get attention. You're getting like 6,000-7,000 people a day.
The site average is 4,000 people a day. At times, at times when there's something particularly wild, it will go over 10,000.
We're going to break for commercial. That's Anthony, Grave Robber Computer Repair, Hutton Street in Jersey City. GetNJ.com on the web. You're watching The Weekly Show. We'll be right back.
right price, right service, right here in Jersey City. Meineke Car Care, 700 Tunley Avenue, Jersey.